So my name's Pat Luneman from Clarissa, Minnesota. So I'm here today to talk about the need to elect DFLers to the legislature and to send to Washington. And the reason that we need to do that is we need to send DFLers that have rural knowledge and have our rural values and that are at the table, so to speak, especially at our state legislature. We've had nearly all Republicans elected from outstate Minnesota, and so when it comes time to pick committee chairs, we don't even have anyone from rural Minnesota to fill those roles. So it's rather frustrating for me as someone who's played a role in public policy for many years, advocating for our rural areas and for our farmers to see what's happened in the last number of years, in the fact that we have gone a direction that I think is just wrong for Minnesota. One of the things that I'm concerned about as a citizen is that we've gone away from the truth, from the facts, and from belief in science. And those are core values that we as U.S. citizens should adhere to every day and not just doubt that. We need to get back to the truth. And we need to have positive leadership here in the state and especially at the national level. And right now we're going away from that with our movement towards nationalism in this country. It reminds me very much of the 1930s. I wasn't here yet, but that's a path that we should not be going down as a country. One of the things that I've been fighting for as a rural and agricultural advocate in Minnesota is the need for comprehensive immigration reform. I've worked on this issue for at least 20 years. I've been to Washington, D.C. I've worked with Senator Al Franken, and in those 20 years we've gone nowhere. And unfortunately, the extremists in our country are derailing the need for comprehensive immigration reform. We have a need in this country for more people, not less people. We have a need to bring in those vibrant folks who are here willing to lend their skills, their talent, and their energy to make our country better. What I have seen over the last 2 decades is that the Republican Party wants to keep people angry and does not want a solution because it's a way to stir people up, and it's something that they can use on the campaign trail and in the press to make everybody angry and blaming, and that's really not the road that we should be going down. The Democratic Party is much more inclusive and looking forward in solving the issue that we have with immigration reform. And if we do that as a country with our Democratic Party in charge, I think we can make great progress. Our educational system in the United States is something that we should be proud of. The public schools that we have formed this nation, and I look at our public education system as the way that we have created a melting pot in this country. And so the Republicans, in wanting to have private vouchers and moving more to private schools, I'm concerned about that. I'm okay with people wanting to send their children to a private school, but everyone in this country should have the ability to have a good education, and that means we need to have a good foundational public school system that fits that bill. One that teaches our students things like math and science and social studies so that we understand how our government works today. And we need to do that by making sure that all of our school systems are strong with support. And our Democratic Party has been very good, especially in the state of Minnesota, at reaching out and providing funding to improve our schools. So I've been working as an agricultural leader for many, many years, leading ag organizations in this state, asking for better farm policy in Minnesota and across the country. And I will say that for the most part, I'm proud of what we've developed in this country. We have an incredible agricultural system that we can be proud of, but it always can be just a little bit better. We need to be supportive of our farms and our family farms out there so that we have a future ahead of us here, so that the next generation can be here to help feed the world. And there are little things that we can do. Here in the state of Minnesota, I'm proud of our Commissioner Tom Peterson and his staff. Tom, in his role as Ag Commissioner, has done a great job, and we should be proud of what Tom has done and his staff has done across the country. And there are more things that we can do by coming together. Our legislature typically has been bipartisan, but it takes Democratic leadership to really pull things together and get things done for family farmers in Minnesota.